All right, Be'ezrat Hashem, Boker Tov. We are the Avodah Zarah, Daf Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph. Okay, so we were speaking about yesterday how there was an issue there's an issue with the goyim that starting from 9 years and 1 day, the 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 male goy was given the status of tuma of zav. Why? Because we're afraid that Hashem Yishmol there might be mishkav zachal going on. Therefore, we said that we have to be careful with him. We cannot allow the again like yichud or to play around with them. Amar Ravina. So Ravina said, Hilkach, התינוקת, עבודת כוכבים, בת ג' שנים ויום אחד, הואיל וראויה לביאה, מטמאה נמי בזיווה. So Ravina says, so we saw from before that there was a machloket between, it wasn't a machloket, but it started off with Rabbi saying, when does the male become tumat zav? He said from the day that he was born. Rabbi Chia yesterday said that what? He only becomes Tameh Ziva from 9 years and 1 day. Why? Because 9 years and 1 day, this is the age where he starts being able to develop the possibility of having relations. So now he says, Ravina says that the same thing would apply for a 3-year-old girl. From the age of 3 years old, she's already not obviously then it's not supposed to be done, but she's able to accept the tuma and able to accept the relation. So in this case, for the girl, it would be 3 years and 1 day as opposed to the boy for 9 years and 1 day. Says the Gemara, Pshita, it's obvious. Ma'udetema, I would have thought, Hayada le'arguli, v'halo yada le'arguli kamashmalan. Okay? So the chidush is over here that what? That the 9-year-old, right? The 9-year-old boy, he's able to instigate. He's able to try to start something. So that's why we were choshesh by him. But the girl who said like she's 3 years old, she's not starting anything on her own. And if anything, someone is going to do it with her, not the other way around. So therefore, the chidush over here is even so we are still choshesh and we make her tameh from the age of 3 and 1 day. מסתמיך ואזין רבי יהודה נשיאה, הכתפי דרבי סמלאי. So Rabbi Yehuda Nesi'ah was leaning on the shoulder of Rabbi Simlai and walking. Rabbi Simlai Sham'eh, Rabbi Simlai, his shamash, and he was walking. Amar le Simlai. So he told to Simlai, his shamash, Lo haita emesh babet midrash. You weren't yesterday in the bet midrash. Keshehitanu et hashemen, when we allowed the oil, when we said that the oil is going to be allowed. Amar lo biyamenu tatir af et apat. So he told him, Rabbi Samlai, what did he tell him? He told him, or Samlai, okay, he said, okay, if you already made the oil allowed, you should have also made the bread allowed, right? We saw that bread was one of the isurim, one of the gzerot of Chachamim. So why didn't you also make the bread allowed? Amarlo, so he told him, Imken karulan bet dina sharia. He said, if I would have done this, what would they have done? They would have called me a bedin of kulot, right? How do they say it nowadays? The bedin of Rav Noach. Whatever is Noach, Mashe Noach, Ba'u Chaba. Whatever is easy, we go. Okay, or I heard another one, Rav Kula. Okay, Ditnan. How do we know this is true? Ditnan he'id Rabbi Yossi ben Yoazer ish tzeredam al eyal kamtza. Okay, this is a grasshopper, a type of grasshopper. Dechan, that it's mutar. V'al mashke bet mitbachaya, and on the drinks of the bet mitbachaim from the slaughterhouse, dechan, that they're mutar, right? And we're going to see what that means. Ve'al di krav lemita misa'av, and a person that touches a dead body, that he becomes tameh. V'karu le Yosef Sharia. They called him Yosef the Mekel. Okay. Amaleh hatam shara tlat. Omar shara chad. So he told him, you know why they called him Yosef the Mekeno, talking about Rabbi Yossi ben Yoezel. Rabbi Yossi ben Yoezel. He said, over there, he allowed 3 times. He allowed 3 different things. What did he allow? He allowed the grasshopper. He allowed the liquids of the Bet HaMitbachaim, of the slaughterhouse, and he also said that the tumah starts when you touch the dead body. Okay, we're obviously going to see that tumah, once a person touches a dead body, he's supposed to be deoraita, he's supposed to be tameh. So what is he saying that it's taho? But we'll see this Bezat Hashem in the Gemara. Okay, so he said he allowed 3. You allowed 1. It's not a problem. Allow 1 more, and you're going to be good. So even if you allow 1 more, it's going to be only 2, and it's not going to be 3. You're going to be okay. Elmaleh, ana sharai achliti. I already allowed something else. So meaning he's already at count 2, and if he goes to count 3, then people are going to not take him seriously anymore. Detnan, ze gitech im lo bati mikan ad 12 chodesh. The case is like this. A person, he gives a get to his wife. He tells her that this is going to be her get if he doesn't return within 12 months. Okay? Now, umet bitoch 12 chodesh, and he dies within those 12 months. What's the halacha? Eno get. It's not considered a get. V'tanya la, and it was taught on it, v'rabotenu hitirua linase. Okay, and the Rabotenu allowed her to get remarried, meaning to say that it was considered to be a get. Okay, what's the problem? What difference does it make? She's going to be allowed to be married. Either the husband's dead or it's a get. What difference does it make? A get also frees her. So what's the difference? The difference is if she's going to need to do yibum or not. Okay, many times what happens, and especially, and this was also very serious when there was still the problem of Russia and all those things, that it was closed, you couldn't go in and out. When if a woman went out with her husband, didn't have any children, but the husband left brothers in Russia. Okay, the husband dies without children. Now, in order to be able to get remarried, she needs to do yibum, right? But the husband is stuck in Russia, and to go into Russia, it's very problematic. You can't go out. What are you going to do? So this is the concept of the get, that if she's divorced, she doesn't need to do yibum. Okay, so over here in this case, does she need to do yibum, or is she going to be already free from the get? Why is she going to be free from the get? It's very simple. He said, if I don't come back within 12 months, if he's dead, he's not coming back. Right? Okay, so he allowed it. So it says the Gemara, "Ve'amrinan mai raboteno amar Rabbi Yehuda amar Shmuel bet dina deshavu mashcha." The bedin that allowed oil is the same bedin that allowed the woman to get remarried, even though it was al tanai. Okay.
If he dies before 12 months and she knows about it.
So that's what we just said. Chachamim said that no, and Rabbi Yehuda Nesi'ah said yes.
If he dies before and she knows about it, she doesn't have to wait the 12 months.
So that's the question. We're going to see that in the Gemara, Be'ezrat Hashem. Okay? Why? Because he says, and why would he allow? Such a thing to happen, to take place? Because he says the time on the get is what proves it. When was the get written? Get was written now. It was meant to take effect only later. He said, but that was just as a safeguard. But really, it takes effect now. The Amar Rabbi Abba, Berei de Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Yehuda Nasi Hora velo hudulo. So Rabbi Yehuda Nasi taught this, but Chachamim weren't maskim to this, and rather they said that it's not going to be a get, and she's going to be considered to be almana or yibum.
The get stopped now, so she's divorced.
Yeah.
So if he die after, she's divorced anyway, no?
We're going to see that. We're going to see that, Be'ezrat Hashem. We're going to talk about it in the Gemara. Okay? Rabbi Yehuda Nasi hora velo hodulo kol sha'aton. They didn't agree to him all his life, and there are those that says kol siyato, that the rest of his bedin didn't agree with him. Okay, but here we see that what Rabbi Yehuda allowed already something else. That what he allowed the woman to get remarried even without the ibum. In the case where he said from here the get is from now to 12 months.
Said that she could get married before she finds out that he's dead?
No. Again. הרי זוגיתך מכאן ועד 12 חודש, אם הוא לא חוזר. Okay? Now, he died in middle.
And she knows about it.
She knows about it. Can she get remarried or does she have to do ibum? So Chachamim said, Rova Rabbanim Amru, they said she has to get ibum. It's not a good get. And Rabbi Yehuda said that it's going to be a good get and that she can remarry. So this was already his one kula that he said. Then he had another kula of the Shem, and he said if he's going to be matil the pot, people are going to stop taking him seriously. They're going to say mekil Rav Kula, right? So Amarne Rabbi Eliezer, there are those that say Rabbi Elazar, Le'ahu Saba, to this older person, Kishartuhu shirituhu sorry, when you allowed it, le'altar shirituha or deloati or dilma le'achar 12 chodesh. Here your question, doctor, right? When they allowed it, did they allow her now that she found out that he's dead? Is she allowed to remarry now, or do we have to wait the 12 months? Okay. Deha ikayem le tna'e v'tiba ilach. Okay. Deha ikayem le tna'e, because he's not going to be fulfilling the t'nai. So that's it. Says the Gemara, why are you asking it on him? Ask it on the Mishnah. Ditnan. If a person says this is your get from now to 12 months, and if I don't return within 12 months, and he does within those 12 months, have a get, it's going to be considered a get. Deha ikayim le t'nai. Okay? It's going to be his t'nai. V'tiba ilach le'altar. Okay? Have gita. Deha lo ata או דילמה, לאחר 12 חודש דעה יקיים לתנאי. Okay? So says the Gemara, why are you asking it on him? Ask it already on the Mishnah. Ask the question on the Mishnah. Says the Gemara, in hachanami. Yes, you're right. Ela mishum David be'ahu minyana. But the reason why he asked him is because he was part of the bedin. He was part of the harachot that they said. So he asked him directly, what do you guys say? But really the question is also valid for the Mishnah. Okay? Amar Abaye, hakol modim, everyone agrees, lekshetetze chama minartika, lechi nafka. Okay? Nafka ka'amar וכי מאית בליליה, גט לאחר מיתה הוא. Okay? על מנת שתצא חמה מן הרתיקה, מעכשיו כאמר לה, וכי מאית בלילה, הוודאי תנאה, תנאה וגט מחיים הוא. So he says like this, if a person says, this is going to be your get, on the condition, or sorry, when the sun comes out. Okay? Kitzur in the morning. And what happens? He dies at night. Is it going to be a good get? It's not a good get. Why? Because he said, this is your get when the sun comes out. That means only when the sun comes out, it's going to be a get. And if he died before the sun comes out, that means she's already muteret in terms of almana, in terms of a widow, as opposed to being divorced. However, if he said, this is your get, on the condition that the sun is gonna rise, then it's a get right away. Why? Because the sun is for sure going to rise, right? If the sun doesn't rise, then I don't think there's going to be a world anymore. Chas v'shalom. Yeah, but the sun is going to rise. But the sun is going to rise, right?
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, okay. But what does that show? What? No, not exactly. There's times where it's like that. But the point is that what he's trying to say is that the get, when does the get take effect? In the second case, when he says if the sun comes out, the get takes effect right away, right? So the same thing he's going to say is going to be applying to the 12 months, and we'll see how. Okay? Rav Huna. The Rav Huna. The Amar Rav Huna, because Rav Huna says, Kol haomer al menat, anyone who says on condition, okay? It's as if he's saying the get is taking effect now. So it says the Gemara, לא נחלקו אלא באם תצא. רבי יהודה הנשיא סבר לה כרבי יוסי דאמר זמנו של שטר מוכיח עליו, והבלה כמאה יום, אימתי, כמעכשיו אימתי, ורבנן, let lehu de Rabbi Yossi, והבלה כזה גיתך אימתי, גרדה. Okay? So Rabbi Yehuda, what did he say? He said that this is the case this is the case that it's going to be what? If the sun comes out, what is he meaning to say? What is he meaning to say? It's to be right now. That the get is taking effect from right now. So therefore, when he's going to say the 12 months, when does he mean for the get to take effect? If he doesn't come back within the 12 months, he means for the get to take effect now, which means that if he's not coming back, when is the get taking effect? All the way from the beginning. And therefore, even if he dies in the middle, since the get was, the whole purpose was, or the way the get was constructed was to show that the get takes effect from now. So even though he died in middle, it's still going to take effect because the get shows that it took effect from the beginning. Okay? Whereas Chachamim, they say no, it's going to be that the get takes effect only later, only at the end, only at the completion of the 12 months. And since he died right away, therefore there's no get, and she's going to be considered to be an almana and not a grusha. We said if there's going to be a problem of yibum, yes, she would much rather be a grusha than to be.
I have a question. If she takes the process of yibum, she's considered a grusha. What is she considered?
No. So yibum, again, there's two things. There's yibum and then there's chalitza. Yibum is where she actually marries the brother. Okay? Chalitza is where the brother refuses, but that's going to be considered like she's divorced. Now, the problem with yibum.
If the brother does chalitza, she's considered divorced, not almana?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. It says ben gusha or ben chalutza, right? The Mishnah. הרי זה ben gusha or ben chalutza. The first Mishnah, מסכת מכות.
וזה שחלץ אותו הוא נקרא פירוש?
בשביל גבר אין דבר כזה.
Yeah,
okay?
So if she takes the boom, she's considered an almana.
No. If the second guy dies also, then yeah, but then we run into a different problem of Isha Katlanit.
No, okay, but once it was if she marries the brother, she's considered what?
She marries him, then nothing.
He's not even considered not Grusha and not
no.
Almana?
Again, she's married to the brother, the Elmaleh. Well, she's married. No, once she does the boom, then she's married to the brother. Okay. She's married. What difference does it make? She's going to be Gusha, Almana, whatever it is. At that point, she's Almana. But if she's going to do Yibum, then she's married. If she's married, it doesn't make a difference afterwards. She's going to die. If the second guy dies, then she's going to be Almana. And if the second guy divorces her, the brother, then she's going to be Gusha. As of right now, she's married.
לפני הייבום היא נקראת אלמנה. עד הייבום.
כן, סוג של, כן. Okay. גופה. Going back to what we said previously. העיד יוסי בן יועזר איש.
יצא מהאלמנה ונהייתה גרושה.
If they do חליצה, then it's going to be considered גרושה, yeah.
אז יש לה סטטוס גם אלמנה וגם גרושה.
לא.
היה לה סטטוס של אלמנה.
זה כבר לא משנה. ברגע once she has the status of a גרושה, of divorcee, that's it. It's you take the worst of the two.
לא, כי אתה
אלמנה לשעבר.
You looking like that. She don't really want to marry to the brother. She don't want. So what she doing? She doing chalitza.
קוראים לה ג'ון.
Yeah, but she doesn't have the choice.
Okay. She almana right now. Now, she don't want him, so she do chalitza.
She's גרושה.
So why you call her grusha? You know, she don't want to marry him. Okay, it's no her decision. You
But
know?
the concept is the same. The fact that she's chalutza, it's a sur.
Because
She's not called.
better to be almana from grusha. You know, I think.
So again, it's called chalutza, but it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same concept. The concept
It's
of
not permissible
to Kohen, exactly. She's not allowed.
ואלמנה כן?
כן?
Almanat.
רק לא לכהן גדול. אתה יודע למה? למה
טוב.
לכהן גדול?
היא לא תהרוג אותו.
לא, שהוא לא יהרוג
הוא בית בעלה.
בקודש הקודשים.
אם כהן גדול רואה את
טוב.
הוא מתפלל בקודש הקודשים.
יאללה, גופה. Ha'id Yossi ben Yoezel ish tzreda al eyal kamtza dechan. He said that this type of grasshopper is going to be mutar. Ve'al mashke bet mitbachaya, and the drinks of the slaughterhouse, they're going to be dechan, they're going to be tahor. Ve'al dikarav lemita misa'av, that a person that touches the dead body is going to be tameh. Vikarule, and they called him Yosef Sharia. Yosef, the one that allows everything. My eyal kamtza. What is this eyal kamtza? Rav Papa Amar Shoshiva. Okay, Rav Papa calls it Shoshiva. Rav Chia Bar Ami Mishmei Deula Amar Susvil. Okay, so Rav Papa says Shoshiva. What is it? Rashi says Min Chagav Virosho Aroch. It's a grasshopper with a very long head. Okay, and Shoshivil, if I'm not mistaken, Susvil is gonna be. I think it's the Gemara says it's with wings. It's another type of grasshopper that the wings are just over rov, meaning in order for a grasshopper to be kasher, the wings have to cover the majority of the body. And this one over here, it covers the majority, but barely the majority. Okay, so Rav Papa Amar Shoshiva. Okay, so he's saying about the head that's long. Okay, that's going to be the machloket between Yossi ben Yoezer and the rest. Okay, Rabbi Chia Bar Ami Mishmei Deulas Amar Susvil Berosho Aroch Kuli Alma Lo Pligi de Asur. By Susvid, if the head is long, everyone agrees that it's going to be asur. Ve'hacha bechnafav chofim et ruvo al yedei adcha kamifligi. Mar sava ruvo kol dehu ba'inan, umar sava ruba deminkar ba'inan. So one opinion is going to say you need the rov that is easily noticeable, and the other one says no, you need the rov as long as there's actually rov, it's going to be okay. Meaning 51% is fine, right? The other one is going to say you don't need 51, you need a little bit more, you need 60, you need 70 to show mamash. No, to show that the wings cover the body. Because if the wings don't cover the body, it's for sure tameh. It's for sure tameh. No, my grandfather used to tell me that in Morocco there was yeah. He used to tell me that as a kid they would buy huge bags and they would have them covered in chocolate. And they would eat them like pitzuchim. Yeah, he said. Okay. There's many different types of grasshopper. So they're very good. They say apparently, and of course I never checked this out. I never really saw. So they said. So apparently they say that the kosher ones they had Magen David on their stomach, or the not the Magen David exactly, but with their feet. When their feet are crunched up or whatever, it makes a Magen David on their stomach. That's what they say. But again, you don't have the Masot, so don't play around with this. Okay. No, but it's bemet. My grandfather told me this is what they used to do in Morocco. In Morocco, they would have them chocolate covered. It would be it would be פיצוחים.
כזה? כזה, מה?
בדיוק, הבנת. כל הכבוד. אבל זה לא על הבטן.
אז אם אתה רואה כזה, אפשר לאכול.
אם אתה רואה כזה.
זה בדוק שלך.
חותמת. Put the K inside and you're good. Okay. ועל משקה במטבחי ידכן. So another thing that he said that was allowed, that was the drinks of the בית המטבחיים. מהי דכן? What did he allow? Rav Amar Dechan Mamash. Rav Amar said that they're going to be Mamash Tahor, meaning they're never going to be able to accept Tumah. Ushmuel Amar Dechan Militame Acherim. Aval Tumat Atzman Yesh Bahen. So Shmuel says no. They're going to be able to be Mikabel Tumah, but they're never going to be able to transfer their Tumah. Rav Amar Dechan Mamash. Rav says that they were Matirat Mamash, Kasava Tumat Mashkin de Rabbanan. The whole concept of Tumat Mashkin is de Rabbanan. V'chi gazu Rabbanan Tum'a b'mashkin de Alma. Aval b'mashkin bet mitbachaya lo gazu. When Chachamim made their decree, they only made it for the things that were outside of the Bet HaMitbachayim. But when it was for drinks that come from the Bet HaMitbachayim, they allowed it. They said that Tumah is never going to touch it. Okay, lo gazu Rabbanan. ושמואל אמר דחן מלטמא אחרים אבל טומאת עצמן יש בהם כסבה טומאת משכין דאורייתא. He says that the tumat of the mashke is going to be deoraita, okay? Letame acherim derabanan. But the fact that drinks or liquids can be metame other liquids, this is going to be derabanan. And on this, v'chi gazu rabanan b'mashkin de'alma. When Chachamim made their decree, they made it for other drinks. B'mashkin b'mitbachaya lo gazu. They didn't make the gzera. So this is the machloket Rav and Shmuel. When he said it's going to be mutar, what did he allow properly? Did he allow the drinks of the Bet HaMitbachayim completely, meaning he said that they never accept Tumah, or did he say that only that they can accept Tumah, but they are not able to transfer their Tumah? That's going to be Machloket Rav and Shmuel. Ve'al dikarev lemita misa'av v'kau le'yasef sha'ya. And we said the third one was that he said that if you touch the dead body, you become tameh, and on this they called him Yosef, the lenient one. Says the Gemara, Yosef asra mi ba'yaleh ve'od deoraita hi. First of all, Yosef said, Yosef ben Yoezel, what did he say? He said, if you touch it, you're going to be tameh. If you touch it, you're going to be tameh. That means he was machmir. He wasn't mekel. That's number one. And number two, the halacha, if you touch a dead body, you become tameh, is deoraita. It's not the Rabbanan. He's not able to be matir deoraita. Deoraita, it's deoraita. Why? Dichtiv. וכל אשר ייגע על פני השדה בחר על חרב או במת, יטמע, right? He becomes tameh. So it says the Gemara, deoraita de'ikrav tameh, de'ikrav b'de'ikrav tahor. So from the Torah, if a person touches the dead body, he's going to be tameh. And if someone else touches the person that touched the dead body, what's the halacha? From the Torah, it's going to be mutar. Ve'atu inhu chachamim came vegazu afilu dikrav b'dikrav. Even if someone touches someone that touched the dead body, he's going to be also tameh. Ve'ata ihu, and he, Yosef ben Yoezel, came along. Ve'ukma deoraita dikrav nami deoraita hu. Sorry. Ve'ukmu deoraita, and he came and he was mekel, and he said no. There is different levels. There's avi avota tuma. No, that's for different things. For the first two levels, it can be a person. Afterwards, it's no more a person. Afterwards, only kelim and ochen. Okay, so
I'm talking about if someone touching dead body. Someone touched the person.
No, that we're going to see over here. But as long
if
they're all touching at the same time, but now we're talking about they touched one after the other. So you have Reuven that touched the dead body. Now Reuven becomes tameh. Okay, what happens if Shimon touches Reuven before he goes to the mikveh? So that's what we see. So that's what we see. So from the Din Torah, that's what we're trying to say in the beginning. From Din Torah, if Reuven touches the body, he automatically becomes tameh. If Shimon touches Reuven before Reuven goes to the mikveh, before he goes to be mitahel, he's going to be tahor min Torah. Chachamim came and said he's going to be tameh. Comes Yossi ben Yoezel and he says no, he's going to be tahor like din Torah. That's why they called him Yosef Sharia. That's why they called him Yosef the Mekeh, the thing. And that's how also the concept of him touching a dead body is going to be tameh. That's also going to be a kula. Because normally, if he touches a dead body, he said tameh, number one. So tameh means he's machmir. And number two, he said that it's deoraita, it's not the Rabbanan. So he showed, no, the Rabbanan was the gzera of Shimon touching Reuven, that he would be asur. And he comes along and he says, no, only the person that touches, he's going to be tameh, which means that over here he's being meken, and it's also not going against the deoraita.
Because I remember we learned even if the tameh touching the chair also.
Okay. Tumat Eser. Okay, yeah. So let's see over here. Says the Gemara, Dikrav nami deoraita hu. Even the Shimon that touches Reuven is also going to be considered deoraita. Dichtiv v'chol asher yiga bo hatamei itma. Anyone that the tamei person touches, he's going to be tamei. So says the Gemara, Amru Rabbanan kameh de Rava mishmei de Marzutra berei de Rav Nachman de Amar mishmei de Rav Nachman deoraita dikrav b'chiburin tumat shiva shelo b'chiburin tumat erev ve'atu inu v'gazru afilu shelo b'chiburin tumat shiva ve'ata iu ve'ukmu deoraita. Okay, so he said like this. Huh? Kotov?
No.
No question.
That's okay.
No. Okay. So he said like this. Deoraita, we just said that the deoraita is what? Is that if Shimon touches Reuven, it's also going to be deoraita, right? So how do we explain that? We say no. Deoraita, if Shimon touches Reuven, he's going to be tameh only if Reuven is still touching the body. Meaning, as long as Reuven, exactly like what you were saying before, that what? That if you have one person that's touching the body, another person that's touching the person that's touching the body, another person that's touching the person that's touching the body, this is going to be tameh deoraita. Okay? Tameh shiv'ah. All of them. Whoever's, as long as there's a direct connection to the dead body, it's going to be tameh tumat shiv'ah. So then we said, deoraita, the second guy is only going to be tameh tumat erev. Meaning, the second guy is going to only have to go to the mikveh, and then he's going to be tahor at night. Came Chachamim and said, no. Even if he touches him after he leaves go of the body, he's still going to be tameh tishima. Comes Yossi ben Yoezel and says, no, we're going to be machmir only like the deoraita, that only the person that touches is going to be tameh tumat shiva. Okay? The third guy depends if he left go or not. If he left go, then nothing.
Not too much of the same night. 0.
Okay? Says the Gemara, deoraita mahi. What's the deoraita? Dichtiv, hanogea bemet lechonesh nefesh adam v'tameh shivat yamim. V'ktiv, v'chol asher yiga bo hatameh itma. V'ktiv, ha'nefesh hanogat itma ad ha'arev. Ha'ketzad, kan b'chiburin, kan shelo b'chiburin. So the Gemara proved from different psukim that what? There would be a difference that if he's touching directly, or if he touched after the other guy let go. Amar lehu Rava, lav amina lechu lo titlu bi. Okay, did I not tell you? Okay, lo titlu be buke sereke v'Rav Nachman. Do not like give like invalid reasons for Rav Nachman. Like don't just put things on Rav Nachman. Why? Hachi amar Rav Nachman, because this is what Rav Nachman said. Safek tameh bereshut harabim hitir lahen. The whole thing that he was talking about was not about the tumah of the met or whatever it is. What Yossi ben Yoezer allowed was not what we were just discussing now. What he allowed was what? Safek tumah bereshut harabim, and this is what he allowed. V'ha hilcheta misota gamrinan la masata reshut hayachid av tumah reshut hayachid. So he said, sota. How does a woman become sota? If the husband warns her, do not seclude yourself. Do not seclude yourself with this guy. And she ignored and she went with this guy again. Right? So then she becomes sota. But only
אם הפלאמר הזה היה לו פעם בעיה.
the so we hear the sota. How does she become sota? Only if she was mityachedet ito, only if she was secluded with him in reshut hayachid. But if it's in reshut harabim, there's no problem of sota. So he says the same thing with safek tuma. Safek tuma is also only going to be in reshut hayachid and not going to be reshut harabim, meaning reshut harabim is going to be mutar. Okay? That's what he says. He says safek tuma bereshut harabim is going to be mutar. And this is why they called him a meken. Okay? Ha'amar Rabbi Yochanan, halacha ve'en morin ken. But on this, Rabbi Yochanan said, this is the halacha, but we don't teach this halacha to everyone. Ve'atu ihu, and he came, Yossi ben Yoezel came, ve'orile aruye, and he taught it to everyone, meaning that's why they called him the meken, because Rabbi Yochanan said, this is the halacha, but you don't teach it. Meaning, if someone comes to ask you the question, you say, okay, you make sure that you don't teach it to people, and he did it, and he went ahead and he taught it. Tanya namihachi, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, korot na'atz lahen, ve'amar ad kan reshut harabim. He put in, he made a fence, and he said, this is going to be reshut harabim, ad kan reshut hayachid. Ki atu lekamed Rav Yana, amar lehu, ha'mayem b'shikiya, de benahara, zilu tevu. Okay? But when they came in front of Rabbi Yanai, what did he say? He said, "There's water in the Nahal. Go dip yourselves." Meaning, they needed to go to letaher datzmam, as opposed to Rabbi Yehuda or Yosef ben Yoezel that he allowed it without any problem. Shlakot, we said in the Mishnah that shlakot, the cooked vegetables, is going to be also a asur gzera. Gzera of the Chachamim, if a goy cooked it, it's going to be asur. Mina hanimini, from where do we know these things? Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Chia bar Abba says the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Amar Kra, the pasuk says, Ochel bakesef tashbirani ve'achalti, umayim bakesef titeni v'shatiti. Kamayim, ma mayim shelo nishtanu, af ochel shelo nishtanu. So he says, the ochel that they have to give was talking about when Bnei Israel wanted to pass through the land of Edom. What did they say? They said, give us water, give us food, give us water. So he said, the same way that water, lo nishtana, it doesn't change at all, meaning water is water, it's clear, it's natural, it's everything like that. That's how you have to give the food. You have to give the food that it's 100% natural. So, ela me'ata, chitin, ve'asa'an, kilayot. So what about wheat that he turned into like roasted wheat? Hachinami de'asurin, it should be also asur. And if you're going to say hachanami, that roasted wheat is really going to be asur based on this concept that we said that the food has to be completely raw, like water. V'hatanya, chitin ve'asa'an kilayot mutarin. Chitin that he made into water is going to be mutar. So we see that they didn't do Oseret completely. So rather, says the Gemara, you're right. Ela kamayim, ma mayim lo nishtanu mebriatan, af ochel shelo nishtanu briato. Okay, so it says the same way water didn't change from its the way it was created. The same thing with food that didn't change the way it was created. Okay, so it says the Gemara, ela me'ata chitin v'tachanan hachanami dasurin. So he says, okay, but wait a second. What happens if he turns the wheat into flour? Then the flour should be asur. And if you're going to say, yeah, the flour is asur, so if you made it into, afterwards, if you turned it into flour, whatever it is, it's going to be mutar. Ela, says the Gemara, kamayim, ma mayim shelo nishtanu mebriatan al yedei ha'ur, af ochel shelo nishtanu mebriato al yedei ha'ur. Okay, the same way that the water wasn't changed from the way it was through fire, so to any food that wasn't changed from the way it was through fire. Meaning the kilayot that we were talking about, that we said is always going to be mutar, So this, since it wasn't changed through fire, it's going to be okay. Whereas vegetables that were cooked, vegetables that were cooked are not going to be mutar. Says the Gemara, midi uketiv. What? The Torah says that it's changed by fire. So says the Gemara, ela midirabanan. You're right. It's only midirabanan. Vekra asmachta be'alma, and the pasuk is only to support it, and that's why that's where we get the whole gzera that it's going to be asur. Baruch Adonai leolam. Amen ve'amen.